Hey everybody, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, to Infinity and Beyond. I have finally figured out the support problem that I had with Kerbal Space Program version 0.15, so we are now on the fancy new version 0.16. Lots of new stuff here, graphical updates, everything looks a little bit better, and also now you have the ability to actually control your Kerbins and cause them to do like EVAs, so get outside of the ship and do stuff like that. I mean, we're probably not going to land on the moon in order to let that happen, but maybe we can cause some people to get burned up in the re-entry phase or something, getting out of the ship for no reason. Who knows? Also, a whole suite of new parts. So we're going to skip the spaceplane hangar for now. It's been good to us, but we're going to go back to our just our regular rocket construction facility here. And you can see there's also all these like Kerbal engineers now wandering around, making sure that everything goes perfectly fine here. Rest assured, they're in good hands. So I've started with a command module here. We can actually start new, because this was just me fooling around for a second with the new update. And we're going to go with the Mark 1 command pod, which I can't remember. I think it's a new... There were only 4 of these before, so I think this is a new part right here. And I don't really care about the specifics of it, but I do remember that we do want to apply a parachute of some sort. Probably... Let me think about this. Deploy drag 500, 500. Impact tolerance 12. Max temperature 3100. Why would we want this one? It's bigger, but it has less drag. Might as well just go with the Mark 16 parachute, I guess. Although it kind of makes our ship look like it's wearing a stupid hat. But anyway, let's take a look at some of the new parts here. So you can see that we've got like updated landing struts. We also have a number of mobility enhancers, which are basically just ladders that we can use. So I'll probably apply these to our ship as we create it. But otherwise, I'm just going to go with a pretty standard rocket design. We also have new radial decouplers. So normally we've been using these, but now we have this as well. I haven't actually used this yet, so let's start actually building a rocket in order to potentially make use of some of this good stuff. So let's go with my standard rocket design that actually worked decently well before. We'll go with these fuel tanks. I guess we should get an SAS module and a decoupler on there first. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten. We'll go with the advanced one, because that's going to make my life easier probably. Where is our standard decoupler? Right here. Okay, stack decoupler, SAS module, stack decoupler, liquid fuel engine. We can probably afford to put 2 of those on there. Although, I don't want to make this thing too heavy. I've been building space planes for a while with limited success. We got a new liquid fuel engine as well. What are the thrusts on this? 215, 200, 1200. Wow. Let's try that. I think this might be new. Also, it looks silly, but maybe that's... let's save this for a little bit later. Let's go with our standard engine that I've been using, which I think was this one, I guess. Whatever, it looks right. 215, or 200, 215, whatever. Let's go with our 215. That looks better, okay. So obviously below this, we want a stack decoupler. And then we need something to actually give our rocket some go. This is already getting much bigger than I remember it being. So let's actually attach a radial decoupler here. This is all par for the course if you see my earlier videos. Although I've totally forgotten where radial couplers are kept. Or not radial, the tri-couplers. I didn't even see this before. It's a new kind of coupler. That's interesting. Where's our radial coupler? Am I just totally whiffing? There we go. Or tri-coupler again. Big mistake. And I noticed that everything just seems to have a little bit more graphical polish right now, which I like. And again, we will apply 2 fuel tanks each here using our tri-symmetry tool. Should allow us to apply this engine as well. Maybe we'll apply these... Oh, we can't do that, can we? No, we absolutely cannot. We'll apply these engines here with the 215 thrust. And, of course, some decouplers on the bottom. Can't help but feel like I'm missing something here. Now we need something to give us some actual liftoff. You know I'm thinking solid fuel boosters, but I'm not sure we need them in this situation. Could we just get away with this right here? Possibly. One thing we should definitely do, you know, the first time is never a charm for me in Kerbal, so don't be surprised if this doesn't go perfectly right off the bat. That's like the largest understatement I think I've ever made in these videos. And then we'll connect another strut like this. Okay, so we could apply like an RCS fuel tank or something. That might not be a bad idea. Take an RCS fuel tank right here. Apply some RCS jets to our... Where were the RCS jets anyway? I thought maybe they were command and control. Yes, okay. So we'll apply like 3 of these around the ship. Should allow us to, you know, maintain our thrust and actually move like a little bit more laterally if we so chose when we got into space. I think we've got some good stuff going on here. We could apply some wings, but is that necessary? The other thing I wanted to try out is maybe, where were those? Must be structural and aerodynamic. These like launch stability enhancers. Why are these so big? Oh, I guess like they can give us a little lift off the launch pad. This could be interesting. Could be horrible, who knows? So let's apply these and maybe we'll be able to give ourselves like a 50-meter head start. And we'll save this as not untitled spacecraft. Let's call this version 0. That's 0. I'm not hitting O, I promise. Let's do lowercase then. V 0.16 Nightmare Fuel. And then we'll try to launch it here and see how this goes. I don't know what to expect. We can skip this tutorial. Come on, Kerbal Space Program. You know who you're talking to? I've gone through the moon. Okay, so I'm going to crank up my thrust because I am dealing with jet engines here and not solid fuel boosters. Turn my volume down, and then we'll do like a 3, 2, 1. Wait, do I need to hit spacebar twice right off the bat here? What are these? Oh, man. Let's give it a try. 3, 2, 1, go. Hey, that actually went awesome. I didn't turn SAS on, but now I have. This is looking pretty solid so far. We've only got one dude. Jebediah. Okay, we can click the EVA button, but I didn't put any ladders on. But so far, so good on this. I didn't really use any new parts, I guess, except for the launch supports, but those are actually really cool. I like those. Everything just looks a little bit sharper in this update so far, which I enjoy. I'm looking forward to getting a little bit more in the Kerbal Space Program, because when version 0.16 came out, and I couldn't download it right off the bat, like my updater wasn't working, I was like, oh, that sucks. I don't really want to play Kerbal Space Program unless I'm playing the most current update. That's kind of half the fun, isn't it? Oh, I thought my ship was going to break apart there. Yeah, now that I've got this fixed, I've got kind of renewed interest in just making horrible abominations that, you know, are probably the worst affront to aeronautic science since the Columbia explosion. So there's the moon over there, but we're probably not going to focus too much on the moon. It was a bad decouple, but we're still going to travel up pretty reasonably fast here. I've totally forgotten my method for getting to the moon. It was like get to almost 100,000 meters and then just pivot around until we are at the horizon. But we're going to run out of fuel soon before that. I probably need one more stage on this rocket in order to make it work. I think I've been building space planes too long, so I try to keep it too simple. But, you know, for me, keeping it too simple is not so bad. So I'm just actually maybe hoping to get this into a stable orbit, which is possible, I think, with our fuel tanks. Let's check out our map. I mean, I'm burning fuel like crazy here. So I should probably throttle down a little bit. Just make sure my acceleration is still going up and my fuel is not going down nearly as quickly. That's better right there. Alright, and maybe we will try to put ourselves into an orbit around Kerbin. Speed up time a little bit here. Oh, we can't warp faster than that yet. And I've totally forgotten, then we like T and A, my favorite parts of Kerbal Space Program, to try to put us into like a horizontal orbit here. Just realized that horizontal comes from the word for horizon. Did not even know that before. Okay, so we're getting close to 100,000. Let's take SAS off. We're going to turn slowly but surely until we reach the horizon here. We're going to have to roll a little bit once we get there if we want to stay level. I'm not even sure if staying level is important. Need a little bit more. Just a little bit. That'll do it. And then we can throttle up again, I think, just to make sure that we don't crash into the Earth. Because if we get into orbit, we don't really need fuel, I believe. So we can throttle down again. Oh, ooh, maybe just... that seems perfect right there. Slowly expanding, hopefully not a decaying orbit, and I want to do like a little roll like that, yeah. Maybe like a Q, Q, E, like perfect. I think this is going to be okay. And then once we get into an orbit, I'm actually going to try some of the EVA stuff, which I've never done before. Probably would have been smart to put a ladder on this thing so that he didn't just fly into space. I'm sorry, Jebediah, but you are probably going to be the sacrificial lamb here. So we'll wait until we have a stable orbit. And I think once we get a stable orbit, I can just cut thrusters. But again, take that with a grain of salt. I am not a space scientist. I'm a YouTube Let's Player. They're pretty similar. Like, there's a lot of similarities in the job. Like, we both show up. But let this go for a little bit. I guess we're in orbit, so we can go 2 times now. Oh, we can't go faster than 1 time while under acceleration. Okay, I forgot about that. But I don't want to cut throttle just yet. Got a little bit more to go. Again, I don't think the moon is going to be a reasonable request in this video, considering the fact that I only have half of 1 fuel tank left. That's a one-way trip for sure. We're almost there. Sort of. We can continue cutting down a little bit here just to save some fuel at the very least. I would love to be able to accelerate time a little bit faster right now. You know what? Let's just give ourselves like some incredible juice here. We're going to burn through fuel like crazy. But it's going to make our orbit expand that much faster. And then we'll cut it down a little bit just to make sure we're not burning more than we need to. Potentially. We're so close to having an orbit that will actually work for us. So let's give it one more fast boost. Then cut thrusters, like right here. Check our map. Oh, we just need a little bit more. Alright, throttle up again a little bit. Cut thrusters. And, oh my god, come on. We're so close. I mean, it's going to continue expanding as long as we're... I don't have that much fuel left to do this. And I really don't want to crash into the Earth's surface here in an hour. But we're so close to being out of fuel. Just get... Oh, okay, I think maybe we're in a stable orbit here. Let's just gun it until we run out. We ran out. Decouple. And then decouple again, I guess. Until we're in our last sort of phase. And we should just orbit the Kerbin now. Let's check and make sure that that is indeed correct as we speed up time here. Watch this both on our map and on our, you know, actual person there. We're going to get very close to the surface of Kerbin. A little frightening, to be honest with you. Because we're only about 68,000 above. But while we're here, let's keep our time warp like this. Rotate ourselves like up here and maybe do some EVA. See if we can do that. Oh god, okay. So we can move around, I think, with WASD. Can't really go too far. Oh, I'm very sorry. Go back in the ship. It's F. I'm sorry, Jebediah. You're probably going to slowly descend to Kerbin's surface. Let's speed this up and watch it in real time. I don't know that we can, actually. He is coming down. Quickly. I have a feeling that he is probably not going to make it through the atmosphere. I was going to say, we don't need to watch this. This is going to be horrifying. But I do kind of want to see what happens. So let's zoom in and see if we can see. There's Nightmare Fuel, and there's Jebediah. Dude's traveling. I'll give you that. But I think our ship is just going to maintain in orbit for, you know, eternity. Which is cool. Jebediah himself is probably not going to have a great time, though, as he slowly descends towards Kerbin's surface. But, you know, spacesuit technology is pretty good these days. He might be able to survive re-entry without the benefit of a spaceship. Actually, he is going up now. I think he might be entering orbit, as crazy as that sounds. So, unfortunately, well, you know, at least he died smiling. Yeah, he's getting further away now. So he's going to enter the same orbit as the ship. That's kind of a beautiful way for an astronaut to die. You know, a captain always goes down with the ship. But as always, thank you guys for watching. This has been Kerbal Space Program to Infinity and Beyond version 0.16. Lots of cool stuff to see here. Maybe I'll check out space planes in the next video just to give you kind of an overview of what has changed there. But for now, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.